Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Kitchen. It's December, it's Thrive It Up. We got some tasty treats for you, some of them using the infamous candy cane. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a great month. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a Thrive night. Back in the kitchen making another great recipe. This time we're taking a big chunk out of the pie, making an English trifle. You're gonna see English trifle thrivealized with all of our delicious foods, including making a custard, making a cake, making a fruit compote, and etc. We're gonna dissect the trifle by filming a couple individual recipes, starting with first the fruit compote. That's gonna be one of the layers in the trifle. Remember, trifle, that delicious layering of really amazing foods. And when you use Thrive foods, it becomes convenient, it becomes delicious, and it becomes healthier. So what a great way to go. First, the fruit component of our trifle. We're going to add water into a pan. Turn that on high. We're going to add the berries right into the water. We're going to add the sugar right into the berries as well. So that was our freeze-dried raspberries, our freeze-dried blueberries, freeze-dried pineapple, and freeze-dried bananas. Now that all of our fruits are in and getting happy in the hot tub, we want to stir this compote and get all those berries reconstituted and get that sugar to melt down with those berries. Okay? Mix that up. Okay, just let that go for a minute, let that simmer. Meanwhile, while that's going, we're going to take cornstarch with a little bit of water. Mix this up. Get this all mixed in. And that's going to thicken this delicious sauce up. Let this cook just for a little while longer till all those berries are reconstituted and it comes up to a simmer. Once it comes just to a simmer, then add the slurry. Once the berry compote comes up just to a simmer, you're going to want to add the slurry in while you stir. Before we do that, we also want to sprinkle in just a little bit of our Thrive vanilla powder. That's going to give that some really nice flavor. So that's 1 tablespoon of delectable Thrive vanilla powder. Stir that in. Now everything's come about. You can see pretty much everything's nicely reconstituted, but still has a little bit of its shape. Now we've mixed the cornstarch and the water together to create what we call a slurry. Add the slurry in as soon as you see it come to a simmer, which it's almost there. It's trying. Boom. I got bubbles. I add the slurry right in. What this is going to do is tighten and grab onto any of that extra water and make this one nice, delicious, kind of a saucy, fruity compote. Okay, let that simmer just for a second to cook the starch slightly. Make sure that it's all cooked through. And then you're going to want to pour this into a bowl. Now, if you wanted to make this just for a sauce, say for angel food cake or warm fruit compote over a nice delicious sauce, cake, you could easily do that. This would be also good for a warm fruit compote over ice cream or over rice pudding. So this is there's a lot of things you could do just with this recipe, but today we're going to use this recipe in our delicious Thrive trifle. After that comes back to a simmer from putting the slurry in, as soon as it simmers again, boom, pour that right into a bowl, and you're going to want to get this immediately into the freezer. Oh, that's delicious. Look at that compote. Look at that delicious fruit. This is the Thrive Kitchen. This is a fruit compote, making it for a delicious English trifle. We have a great treat for you today. We're going to be making Christmas Kiss cookies with, yes, these delectable little peppermint kisses. So I wish I could give you all a kiss, but this is the way I can through our Christmas Kiss cookies. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start with our sugar cookie base. So our sugar cookie base is from our bakery line. If you're not familiar with this, add it to your queue. The sugar cookies, the vanilla sugar cookies, also the classic cookies, which are a chocolate chip style cookie. Both are very good. We are gonna use this today. We're gonna start with 3/4 cup of butter, and we're gonna lightly beat this. And that butter is room temperature. You want it to be semi-soft so you can get just a little bit of fluff in it. You don't need to get it really light and really airy, but you just want to get that mixed around pretty good. Once that's mixed around, go ahead and do the old one-hand crack on the egg. You're going to add 2 tablespoons of water. You're going to add, for this recipe, because we want actually like a thumbprint style cookie, we're going to add all of our sugar cookie mix in according to the can recipe for 1 batch. And in addition to that, to get a little bit more volume and a little less spread, we're going to actually add an additional 1/4 cup of flour. Then just push go. Starting to pull away from the sides, that's when you know it's done. So you can see the dough has come together into a dough form and is pulled away from the sides completely. You can count yourself now glorious. You have cookie dough made. Okay, now, very easy. Pull the cookie dough off if you can get the bowl off. That's half the battle sometimes. And then you have a prepared cookie sheet. I have a piece of parchment down and I've sprayed it lightly with some pan spray. You take the cookies and you literally scoop them out to the portion size that you desire. And I come back with the palm of my hand, lightly flatten those cookies. That's it. I'm going to repeat the process through the entire pan. We're going to bake the cookies for 8 minutes in the oven at 325 degrees. And after they're baked, right when they come out, we push a Christmas Kiss right down into the center of that little cookie, and oh baby, start to enjoy. After your cookies have come out, they're still a little bit warm. You want to let them cool slightly, but if you let them cool too much, the kiss won't stick. So you just let those babies cool just for a second, and then simply go ahead and put your kiss right into those beauties. So simple little method here, and you can take this even further. You could not do the kiss, you can add some cranberries with an orange icing. There's so many other things you can do with our bakery line and with our Thrive Foods to get festive for your holiday season. This is Chef Todd, Thrive Kitchen.
Welcome everybody to the Ask Chef Todd segment here on Thrive It Up for the month of December. Merry Christmas everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Hopefully your month, you've got holiday parties planned, you got a lot of shopping. Hopefully you got it all done here last week during Black Friday, or just a couple days ago during the Black Friday sale. Easy, Chef, easy. I know this is your kitchen, but I don't want to have to call 911 with severe burns. We've got a great question though.
What's the question?
On Ask Chef Todd. Hashtag
Thank you.
Ask Chef Todd. Thanks everyone for the wonderful questions you've been sending in. Chef Todd's getting to all of them. We'll get them all answered. Answer the one he selected this month on Thrive It Up. So it comes from Heather Castellano. It is hashtag Ask Chef Todd. I've had people ask if the veggies can be steamed like fresh veggies. Do you have any tips or suggestions?
I do.
It's a good question.
That's a great question. So when it comes to steaming, let's first talk about the method of steaming. The method of steaming can be done in many different ways. Steam can be created through a double boiler system such as this, meaning I have a strainer, and I needed just a hair more water actually. I have a strainer inside of a pot that I'm going to put food in the strainer. It's not touching the water, and then the lid goes on top. That's one way to steam.
That's the way I always do it.
Another way to steam is actually in a pan. Put vegetables in a pan with a little bit of water to create the steam, or flavorful liquid. Put a pan on, you're steaming.
Perfect, okay.
So we're going to have a science test today. We're going to do both steaming methods using some of our delicious Thrive freeze-dried vegetables and see which one works the best. So first, we're going to take some green beans, some red bell peppers.
Ooh, I like this mixture.
Some mushrooms, other known as fungi.
Fungi.
Tomatoes, and a wee bit of onions.
Ooh.
Okay?
All
We're going
right.
to make sure.
Do you mix it around in the water?
We're going to make sure we have enough liquid in there
Okay.
to steam. Now we have enough liquid in there. Boom, boom, boom. Put the lid on. And now you will be steaming these vegetables. Now I've only put water in. I haven't added the butter.
Whoa, whoa.
Now I'm starting to twitch.
You haven't added butter. Butter is your middle name, my friend. I'm very proud of you.
There's no butter in there. So this is a very healthy way to steam.
I'm going to put the butter over here.
Steaming is generally a healthy way of cooking. And of course, this is steaming. See the steam? Do you see the steam?
Oh, yeah.
It's steaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's steaming. And it's reconstituting at the same time. Now we're going to do the exact same thing over here to the double boiler method.
Okay.
The double boiler method is literally only steam coming through the strainer.
Double boiler method.
And we're going to put red peppers, green beans,
fungi.
We're going to put some onions and a little bit of tomato.
Onions, everybody.
Onions and boom. We're going to do the exact same thing.
Put a lid on, so you want to cover that as well.
Yep. We're going to allow these to steam for about 5 minutes, and we're going to see which ones steam better.
Okay.
Starting now.
Ready, go.
Okay, guys, it's been 5 minutes. You ready to go? Look at those veggies.
Oh, that's
perfect. Those are perfect. Steamy, delicious. Okay, now for the double boiler. Turn everything off. Now for the double boiler. Let's check it out and see what happens. Okay, so we have the double boiler. Whoa, if I can get this baby off of here. Yep. So we have the double boiler. Ooh. Still a little dry.
Not that.
It's not that. Still a little dry. Okay, so here's the thing. Doing the double boiler method, it's not enough liquid to actually reconstitute the dry vegetables. They're definitely soft, but they're still dry. You actually have to have some water. But yet these vegetables were steamed still. The water's pretty much gone. They're delicious, they're healthy, and they're not sitting in water. So there is two types of steaming that I'm aware of, that method or this method. So the answer is,
that method.
yes, you can steam if you do it with this method, meaning you add enough water to reconstitute, but by the time you steam and cook out, the water is pretty much gone and absorbed, so you end up with this delectable and delicious steamed vegetable. Now, what you want to do is take these delicious steamed vegetables and, of course, just season them up. But if you have a butter problem,
I hid the butter. How did it get back over here?
if you have a butter problem, put a little butter on those vegetables, steamed vegetables, make them buttery, and then of course hit them with just a little bit of Thrive spice.
Seasoning, baby.
And then you just have what we call Thrive steamed vegetables. So the answer is yes, you can steam vegetables if you do it in a pan like this with the water in it. We also thought about, there's your other choice. We also thought about there could be a possibility of putting your vegetables here and then dousing the water on top as you go in for the double boiler. But to be honest, it's going to be best just to do it in a pan.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. That is a great question. We get that a lot. A lot of people ask
me?
about the steaming process, and because it needs to be rehydrated, boom.
Booyah!
Obviously, there's a clear and efficient way to do the steaming. Thank you, Chef Todd,
Welcome.
for making that so clear and visual for us
Great
to understand.
question.
Heather, great question. You're going to get a little box of goodies coming your way because
Booyah!
Chef Todd selected your question. So if you would like to be like Heather, get a box of goodies, get your question, and get a shout out on Thrive It Up from our good chef, go ahead and use that hashtag
Ask Chef Todd.
and ask away. And if it's a good question, they're all great questions, but if one really stands out to Chef that he would really like to demonstrate, he'll pick it out and we'll feature it here on Thrive It Up. So have a great December, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year, and we will talk to you in January.
Later. Okay, now an English trifle is going to have a good cake. So let's thrivalize a delicious pound cake. And the pound cake really is simple. We have Thrive sugar, Thrive flour, Thrive vanilla powder, and Thrive eggs. 4 ingredients. We have cream cheese, we have butter, we have water for the eggs. So we have 2 ingredients that aren't Thrive in this delicious cake recipe. So that's kind of the ingredients. Let's start with. So you want to, remember, a good cake, you got to have some good air in the cream cheese and in the butter. So we're starting with literally 3 sticks of butter and some cream cheese. About an 8 ounce pack of cream cheese. Now on the butter and cream cheese, you want to make sure that you whip that until it's really light and fluffy. After the cream cheese and butter is light, you want to sprinkle in the sugar and whip more until nice and light. While that's mixing, go ahead and add your eggs and your water together and mix that to scramble your eggs. Once the sugar, the cream cheese, and the butter are really light and fluffy, go ahead and add your egg mixture. Your vanilla, and sprinkle in your flour. You want to mix everything together for almost 2 minutes. While you're mixing, be sure to scrape down the sides to make sure everything is combined evenly. Take a 9x13 pan and prepare it by spraying it with a little bit of pan release or rubbing it down with butter. Your cake batter for the pound cake is now ready to be added to the pan, and you're going to bake this for about an hour and 20 minutes, or until the toothpick comes clean and your cake is done. Now in the oven, an hour and 20 minutes at 325 degrees. We now have the cake cooled and ready to go to assemble our delicious trifle. This cake is wonderful, delicious, and it's ready to be layered with love. Because it's the season, candy canes are prevalent. Let's thrivalize our macaroons now with some delicious candy canes. So simple. We're going to take 4 cups of our macaroon mix minus the oxygen absorber. 4 cups of our macaroon mix from our bakery line. Whoa. 1, 3, 4. 4 cups of our macaroon mix, and you're going to take a half a cup of boiling, very hot water and mix it right into the macaroons. You think that it's not enough water, but it actually is. No problem. So once I get it halfway mixed, I just take a spoon and I'll just fold that in and get that mixed up. And you want very hot water to do that. Okay, once you have the macaroons mixed up and they look as though they have all the water in them, at this time right now, you're going to take 1/4 cup of crushed candy canes and put them right in there. Peppermint candy. Oh baby, look at that. You're going to just fold those in there. Very simply. Get those candy canes all folded in. Make sure all that dough is mixed up. Okay, now you're good to go. Now, simply scoop the macaroons onto a prepared cookie sheet. Bake these little babies in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes at 350 degrees. You don't want to get them golden brown, you just want to get them set and cooked. Maybe a tiny bit of toasting on the edges. Okay, to finish these delicious candy cane or peppermint macaroons, we've infused these delicious macaroons with peppermint. It's just our macaroon mix out of the can, just add water and candy canes. So that easy. Now we have a double boiler system to melt our chocolate. We're going to dip these in white chocolate, and as you can see here, we have a double boiler system. So we have the bowl over a steaming bath, and we have delicious, beautiful, ready to go melted chocolate. So we're gonna just take that, and now we just dip, and I only usually dip half of the macaroon into the chocolate, put it right back into its place. Half the macaroon right into there. Put it right back into its place, and then I sprinkle with more of this, or you can just take the chocolate and go right into there like that, and boom, you have yourself a nice white chocolate dipped macaroon with candy cane. So the peppermint and the coconut actually go pretty nicely together. You're gonna love this simple recipe. So imagine, you know, all the Christmas goodies going around this year. You certainly should stock up on macaroons and candy canes and water, because that's all you need for this recipe, and of course the dipping chocolate. So this is really actually just white chocolate bark that we're using for the dipping chocolate here. But again, very simple, very easy. Anybody you can do this. You can engage the family, get the kids involved in this, and you can just go ahead and pump several hundred out for all your friends and family for Christmas this year. Easy, easy. I've just busted 12 out in matters of seconds here to show you how simple, fun, and easy this is. So again, thanks for joining us here in the Thrive Kitchen. This is the Thrive Candy Cane Peppermint Macaroon Cookie. Now we're going to make a vanilla custard sauce. Vanilla custard sauce would go delicious on almost anything sweet for dessert. But this particular vanilla custard sauce is actually going to be for our English trifle, and we're making tons of little videos to show you how to do that. So on the English trifle, you want to have the saucy vanilla pudding-like custard sauce layered and filling in the cracks of that English trifle. So in order to do that, we're going to turn a pan on medium heat, and we're going to go ahead and add all of our ingredients right into the pan. So we have cream, water, sugar, Thrive sugar, Thrive salt, Thrive instant milk. That's Thrive instant milk powder right into the batch. Thrive vanilla powder right into the batch. And last but certainly not least, the thing that thickens, the thing that flavors, Thrive scrambled egg mix. So it's pretty much that easy. You add everything right into the pan, and now you whisk. It's not on high, it's on medium heat. You want to whisk this continually until it starts to thicken. Now, if it boils, you're going to curdle the eggs. You're going to make scrambled eggs. You have to do it just until it starts to thicken, which is right before boiling, around 140 degrees. So you stir, you cook, and it thickens. Right when it thickens, you pull it off. We're going to pass it through a strainer into our bowl with ice water. As it warms up, you've only got a small amount of time before you could wreck the whole thing. So when you're making custard, it comes up very quickly. When it reaches that last part, it's really, really fast. So you have to watch it. You literally have to see its texture change right in front of your very eyes. You need to see it start to thicken. And we're almost to that point now. We're almost hot enough to where it's going to, those eggs literally will start to coagulate and start to thicken the whole entire sauce. You can see the texture starting to change. You can see the custard start to thicken. That's perfect. See how thick it's getting? Look at those Thrive eggs doing their magic, working their magic. That is awesome. Look how nice that custard's coming along. So that's the thickening you want. I turn the heat off. I'm continuing to stir. There's enough heat in there to continue to cook and thicken, but we're good to go. Now I'm going to strain that sauce right through there into my chilled bowl, and I strain it through a strainer just in case any of those eggs did coagulate. I'll be able to get them out. So just take the rest of that, and now you have delicious custard sauce. Look how delicious. Put this in the fridge in the ice bath. It'll take 30 minutes and you should be pretty cold. We're almost ready to assemble that wonderful trifle. Hope you enjoyed this version or this recipe of the English trifle. Vanilla custard sauce.
Welcome everybody into the Thrive Life Kitchen. We got Chef Todd here, and this is the featured chef segment for the month of December. Merry Christmas, everybody. We have got a fabulous recipe this month. I'm dying because of the aroma. It smells so good. I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. But the recipe this month, I'll let Chef Todd tell you about the recipe, but it comes from Nikki Polson from Sacramento, California. Congratulations, Nikki. She has only been a consultant since April of this year.
Oh, she's
April
tearing
2015.
She's tearing this thing up.
She's starting to get active on the recipe site. And Chef Todd, you are rewarding Nikki for it. So go ahead and tell us about this awesome recipe that you've selected for the month of December.
Well, I really like this recipe. One of the first things that caught my eye is Thrive. The only thing that's not Thrive is garlic and oil. Check! So of course, that screams brilliant. Look at the flavors. Look at the colors. This is a one-pot meal, quick, easy. Rachel Ray, knock your socks off. No more 30 minutes. This is 15-minute cook time. Easy, fast, and furious. This is a healthy dinner for anybody who's in a hurry, in a rush, or someone who just wants to eat fast and spend more time with those who matter most to us.
Which is important coming up into Christmas.
That's right. So, really simple. It's just a nice chicken fried
It
rice.
smells so good.
It's our eggs. Her method of making the well, you saw in the little video demonstration of me making this. You make a little well in the rice, which I've never done before, and you let the eggs cook right in the little well. Loved it. Really, really brilliant. I, of course, like my fried rice with a little bit of soy, so we just put a little splash of soy sauce on there and call this a day. But there's a nice finished fried rice using 99% Thrive. Nikki, you blew this out of the water. Thank you for joining our team. Thank you for sharing this recipe. We hope more of you and all of you start putting recipes on the website, and we will select the very best. And Nikki, you're the very best this month. Thank you.
Oh, that's high praise coming from our chef
baby.
himself. Congratulations, Nikki. If you'd like to be like Nikki, get submitting those recipes onto the recipe site. It's extremely easy. Chef Todd reviews them every single month, picks his favorite from certain criteria. You heard him say one of them. If it's got a lot of Thrive, it's going to catch his eye, and it just might make an appearance here on the Featured Chef segment on Thrive It Up. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a great Christmas, a great New Year. We'll see you in January.
Next year, all our troubles will be out of sight.
One of our last components of the wonderful trifle is simply whipped cream, or some people may say chantilly cream. So whipped cream, chantilly cream is cream, sugar, and vanilla. In this case, we're using Thrive cane sugar and Thrive vanilla powder, and of course, heavy cream. The heavy cream is thoroughly chilled. The bowl, when I put it on, was thoroughly chilled. Those are a couple of secrets. You want to make sure it's nice and cold. Go ahead and add all your cream right to the bowl, chilled bowl. And add your sugar right in and your vanilla powder. You want to whip this until it has stiff peaks. You don't want to over whip the cream. If you do, it could turn into butter or a texture that's undesirable. So you just want to whip it until literally it has stiff peaks. So you can see nice and firm, holds its shape. That's perfect, not over whipped. Try not to eat it all before you put it on the trifle. We have now created our delectable components to compose the delicious Thrive Trifle. So the Thrive Trifle consists of our delicious fruit berry compote, whipped cream, pound cake that I've crumbled up, and of course our delicious custard sauce. We have a couple garnishes, coconut, and if you must, of course the candy cane peppermint. So layering the trifle is very important. That's the whole art of making trifle. So we're going to put some of our fruit filling into the bottom of the trifle dish. And you want to just kind of make layers. Now we're going to take some cake, put some cake right in there. And then we're going to take some of our vanilla custard sauce and literally put that all over and let that soak into that cake. Then some more fruit. And then some more cake. And then some more custard. A little sprinkle of coconut this time. A tiny bit of our whipped cream. More of our fruit. Oh, baby. You can see the delectable layers coming. Now we're gonna put the last layer of cake on. And this time, when we put the cake on, we're actually gonna press that down a little bit so that all those layers can kind of come compacted together, okay? We're gonna sprinkle another layer of coconut. We're gonna put the remaining custard on top. Smear that in. We're gonna put a little bit more fruit, or I should say the remaining fruit. And then to top it off, we add the rest of the whipped cream. If that's not a bowl of happiness, I don't know what is, people. Are you kidding me? Look at this love. Top that baby off with tons of coconut. And you got yourself a Thrive Trifle, a Thrive bowl of love. You do that at a party and you're gonna knock everybody's socks off. You do that this Christmas and your family will never forget it. This is the Thrive Kitchen. This is the Thrive Life. Chef Todd signing off.